Mike, we're talking about fasting. You've written a book on fasting called Fasting, Rediscovering the Ancient Pathways. And this is something that is not just a theme or a subject you've written on. This is something you've practiced yourself intensely for a number of years. So tell me this from your perspective, how do you know that it's time to go into a fast?
In the most simple way, if I don't have the audible voice, if I don't have the leading in prayer, all of these things are important. I believe God will invite us in through all of these means, through dreams, through visions, through revelation in the scriptures, even just the still small nudging of our heart over the course of a day. I may wake up and not have fasting on my mind at all. And as I'm approaching thinking about breakfast, I may feel the Holy Spirit speak to me and say, turn aside from breakfast this morning. It may be as simple as that. It may be I feel in my heart over several days or even weeks that God may be leading me towards a fast. All of a sudden, fasting is it's more in my mind. It's more in my thought process. Now, I don't put fasting in my thought process that often, probably like some, because we're more focused on our needs, our desires, the things set before us. So it can be as easy as these things, but I always know when I need to fast because I don't want to. And I always know the greater need for fasting in my life, the more resistance I put up against the leading for fasting. Wow. There have been seasons where I've put up a lot of resistance. I've put up a lot of excuses. I've tried to do lesser styles of fasts just to pacify that wrestling on the inside. I may know that the Lord may be leading me into a longer fast, and I may shortcut it because I've fasted now to think that I can somehow mask the wrestling that, God has brought into my heart and life. So all of these are ways that I've found. It can be that the conversation of fasting comes up from others into my life, where I find myself talking about fasting when I'm resisting the invitation to fasting in my own heart. Because what I resist on the inside, God will bring from the outside. And so these are just multiple, avenues that God has gotten my attention for fasting.
So you said something that's quite interesting. You said that you need to fast when you don't want to fast. So does that mean that you ever want to fast?
There are weird seasons in life where I just want him in an increased way. Now, we always want him. We always claim to want him. But again, fasting is not a means to an end, but it's an expression. It's a walking out of an intense longing found on the inside of a man or of a woman. And there are seasons, there are days in my life where I just want him, and I'll do anything that I have to do to get him. And fasting, for whatever reason, has been in my own life an acceleration into a place of experience. Fasting in my own life has been a severing of lesser lovers and attractions and distractions. Fasting for me has been a sifting of my own heart to really dial in my focus and my attention for what it is that I really say I want. Don't tell me you're hungry if you can't turn the TV off. Don't tell me you're hungry if you can't push away from the table. It's the same talk of hunger that does not want Christ to turn away from the nails and the cross. But it's that same talk of hunger that is unwilling to push away from the table. One we want, the other we're unwilling to do so. And at the root of it all, I find, is just we live in such a self-absorbed, self-centered, self-focused life. Fasting for me has been one of the ways that God has been able to crack that selfishness to bring me to himself.